right, welcome back. Road accidents usually increase this time of the year as people head off on holiday, leaving thousands of South Africans in need of compensation to cover medical costs and other incurred costs. The Road Accident Fund provides compulsory cover to all users of South African roads against injuries sustained or death arising from accidents involving motor vehicles within the borders of South Africa. Well, here to talk more about the Road Accident Fund and their work, we're joined by its CEO, Dr. Eugene Watson. Good to have you. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you. Under what circumstances do the RAF pay out a claim to the injured patients or the deceased family?
There really need to be three criteria. The first is there needs to be wrongdoing on the road. The second is there needs to be serious injury, which is assessed at a medical level, worked out to 30% of your bodily impairment. And then there, of course, also needs to be the passing away or the loss of a life. Those are the three main criteria which entitle you to benefits.
And how do people go about lodging a claim?
Okay, the easiest is to come to one of our offices. We have an office in every province, or to call our call center. You can visit our website. All the information related to claiming is on it, or any one of the social media footprints that we have established.
Yeah.
What we've done to promote access, we have 86 people, hospital service consultants, who are based in hospitals throughout the country where accidents typically happen or are cared for. So those are the various access points people can use to come and contact our RAF.
What happens once a claim has been submitted? Do you then have sort of a rigorous investigation from your side to make sure that these claims are in fact legitimate?
It is a lengthy process. I mean, firstly, you must make sure it's legitimate. But basically, you need to establish fault, who was wrong, and then the extent to which they were wrong or there was negligence. Once that's done, you then go about looking at what is the loss or the impact of this crash on that person's income, their medical status, and then compensation is quantified and paid out. So it does take a long time. If claimants make use of a legal representative, it may go to court, which in itself is a lengthy process.
Yeah, lengthy process. I mean, is there a sort of way of telling us how long it can take per claim?
It depends on the claim. If it's for funeral benefits or for medical benefits, you can get paid within a couple of months. If it's for loss of income or loss of support, where we need to quantify your earnings, if you came directly to the RAF, you can get paid within 12 months, typically about 18 months. If you use a legal representative and go to the courts, it can take up to 3 years.
Yeah. I mean, there have been a lot of complaints from people saying that there's so many delays in RAF claims. Why does it take so long? I mean, surely once you've spoken to the insurance companies involved and also physically see the patient, it should almost be clarified.
If all we dealt with was the retrospective effect, then it would be relatively short. But if you have a 22-year-old who's at university and you now need to work out what is the impact of this crash on his future income, you need to have various actuarial assessments, industrial psychologists get involved to quantify what they think this person would earn through their working life. And it's in doing that and also determining who's to blame and how much are they to blame or at fault. You then have the toing and froing. There's a piece of legislation called the Road Accident Benefit Scheme, which has been put up for public comment. This will actually move the process forward, and we'll see compensation shift to a social security benefit where we support those who are in need and not only those who have lost a lot.
Yeah. In a recent RAF statement, you were actually quoted as saying, for many years, the RAF performed below expectations. What do you mean by that?
The reality is, and I mean, we couldn't have this interview and not pretend it didn't happen. For a long time, the RAF was not a star performer. Productivity was low, the institution wasn't efficient. There were issues at a governance and management level. But in 2012, decisions were taken by the board, by the Minister of Transport, to say, look, turn the RAF around. And in 2 years, you've seen claim payments double. You've seen 2 successive clean audits. You've seen the processing of claims improve so dramatically that you have half the backlog of 5 years ago. And in doing this, we've supplemented that with access points as well as more modernized business processes. And you have, therefore, an institution that is now working.
Yeah. In terms of cash flow, how's it looking?
Well, the cash is tight. It's a consequence of our success. We get a fuel levy, which is set annually. It equates to about 20 billion rand a year. But because our claim processing has increased, last year we paid 22 billion rand.
Oh, really?
So we're now at a point where every month we prepare 2.5 billion rand worth of claims for payment. But the cash we get in the form of a levy is a little under 2 billion rand a month.
Yeah.
And you therefore have this accumulation of claims waiting to be paid, which is what that quote is about.
I just want to clarify a little bit, because I'm sure a lot of viewers out there are wondering, do I qualify for RAF? These injuries you talk about, and obviously the deceased is a different story, which you have touched on, but the injuries that people have, if you break your arm, if you sprain your leg, or if you are, just give me an idea of when you are eligible to claim.
Practical examples would be a serious injury that would last for a very long time. So an amputation, if you're paralyzed in one part of your body that you use a lot, like your arm, your hand, your legs, and so forth. If you lose your sight, if you lose your hearing and you're a radio anchor, those are the types of injuries. If you're a model and you are scarred badly so that you can't model anymore and it affects the quality of your life going forward. So it does need to be serious. If it's something that's going to recover in a couple of months, the reality is that practically may not meet the test.
Okay, so I think that should clarify it for a lot of viewers out there. Just finally, you're also running a road safety competition until the end of the year. What's that all about? Give us some details.
Look, at the heart of what we do, besides the laws and the technicalities, we support victims of car crashes. The best support is to prevent a car crash.
Yeah.
So road safety matters to the RAF, and the campaign we're running is called Future You. It basically says at this time of the year, we're slowing down, we're going on holiday, the mood is good, but don't risk your future you for the party you're going to tonight, the journey you're embarking upon this morning, or simply driving to the shop to buy charcoal for your fire where you're going to relax with your friends and family.
Yeah.
Remember your future you, respect it, obey the rules of the road, strap up, follow the speed limit, overtake carefully, and don't drive drunk.
Most importantly. Okay. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks for having us.
The website address is
www.raf.co.za.
Yeah. So it's raf.co.za. That's the Road Accident Fund, and its CEO, Dr. Eugene Watson, talking to us about who qualifies for Road Accident Fund money and just all of the necessities that go with it. So again, thank you very, very much for being our guest. Let's take